conference. Goaltender Carey Price is joining us tonight. As a reminder for members of the media, please limit yourself right now to one question each reporter, and if time allows us, we'll take some follow-up at the end. On va commencer avec une première question. We'll start with the first question from Luc Gélina, RDS. Luc, c'est à toi.
Merci beaucoup, Charles. Hi, Carey. We have a lot of questions, your surgery, your future with the team. But before that, I would like to ask you a question about Carey Price, the man. In October, he had to make a decision, and I don't want to know what was the purpose. That's not our business. But how tough was it to make that decision at that time to leave the team, leave your family for a full month, and ask for some help? And how helpful was that process?
Yeah, it was very difficult. I was in a position where I definitely needed to reach out, and it was a trying time for sure. But at the end of the day, it was one that I knew that had to be made, and ultimately, it was one that was successful. And I'm very thankful for the help that I got.
Martin McGuire.
Hi, Carey. Nice to see you again. From what you've been through over the last few months, is there something that you want to share with the fan at this point? Something that you want that people understand?
Yeah, I just want to say that I'm doing well. I know it's been a frustrating time for everybody. It's been one for me as well, and it's been a long year, and I know there's a lot of frustrations out there, but everybody out here is trying their hardest. Everybody's putting in the work and doing their best. So, for me personally, it's been a long stretch. It's been hard to be out watching your teammates, and especially not having success, and having a couple of setbacks. It's been frustrating for sure, but I just want everybody to know that I'm doing well, and I'm looking forward to the future.
Jean-François Chaumont.
Carey, you've been talking about the future. You seem to be in a good place with your mind, but what about the knee? Do you think it's possible for you to be back this year? Is it something that you have set as an objective to be back this year?
Yeah, it's definitely an objective for me this season. It's always been my goal ever since I got back here. Obviously, I've had a couple of setbacks that weren't foreseen. It's been a frustrating process, no doubt, but at the end of the day, I got to take care of it. And, moving forward, I'm starting to skate again. So hopefully I'll keep on progressing and be able to get back in a uniform pretty soon.
Prochaine question, Richard Labbé.
Yeah, hi, Carey. On that particular topic, Kent Hughes just said that he didn't know whether or not you could play. Is this something that is this the worst case scenario, Carey, at this point with the knee? Could it lead to you not playing ever again?
You never know. There's always a possibility. There's a lot going on over the next couple of weeks that'll determine the rest of my season. So I'm obviously a little bit anxious myself to find out some answers. So, I don't have them right now, but we'll find out soon enough.
Jean-Luc.
Hi, Carey. Good to see you back, and thank you for doing this. Can you just elaborate on what you just said, that a lot going on in the next couple of weeks? Are you talking about examinations, tests, and so forth? Because it sounded a little bit ominous when you say that you never know about your future, your playing future.
You can take it however you want. I'm just looking at the next month. I've gone through this process a couple of times already this season. I've had setbacks, so that's what I'm talking about.
Stu Cowan.
Hey, Carey. At this point in your career, with the way the Canadians are right now, whether there's going to be a rebuild or a reset or whatever is going on in the future, at this point, have you given thought to whether it might be better for yourself and your family to think about a possible fresh start somewhere else? And have you given any thought, if that was the case, to maybe, I know you have a no movement clause, but of maybe allowing to lift that? I know you did for the expansion draft.
I haven't made any plans to do so. Me and my family are very happy here. We're settled in. This is our home. You know, there's a reason I signed the contract like I did here with a no movement contract, with a no movement clause, was to be here. So as of right now, I have no plans to move anywhere.
Arpin Basu.
Hey, Carey, good to see you again, even though it's this way. But just to get back to what you had to go through in the fall, I don't know how aware you were of people saying that you admitting that you needed help and that you had a problem would be helpful to a lot of people that are maybe struggling with that decision to admit that they also need help. Were you cognizant of that, and was that one of the reasons why you thought you should share that information with everyone?
Yeah, 100%. You know, it is the first, that is the first step for a lot of people. It's not an easy one to make. And, you know, I've seen a lot of people struggle with issues in my personal life, and it's not an easy step to make. So definitely it was in the back of my mind.
Marc-André Perrault.
Hey, Carey, good to see you. Pretty much on the same topic. Did you feel the support of, seems like all the fans were behind you, and if I may, also the support of your family, because we saw a lot of videos and pictures. You seemed so happy in the last few days. So can you share us your thought about the support you had?
Yeah, I'm tremendously grateful for all the support that I've received from not only the fans, but, you know, the Montreal Canadiens themselves, my teammates, and obviously my family. I've had quite the journey, obviously, at the start of this season, and it would have been a lot more difficult if I hadn't had such a warm, you know, sense of encouragement from everyone.
Rick Engels.
Hi, Carey. Echoing everybody's thoughts on it being nice to see you, even under these circumstances. I don't want to be misconstrued as asking, like, why would you want to play again? Obviously, there's reasons, and you're under contract. But what are the motivating factors, if you could expand on it? That why is it important to you to come back and play hockey from a personal standpoint, a physical standpoint, professional standpoint? Like, why is that important to you?
Well, it's a big part of my identity, for one. You know, being a goaltender for the Montreal Canadiens has been my life for over a decade, and you know, obviously ending the season on such a disappointing note last year, I just want to be able to get back in there and just continue playing, and to be able to put that sweater on again is something that you know, is keeping me motivated at this point.
François Gagnon.
Yes, Carey. You said that you will learn more in the next month. I don't know if you're going with odds or not, but could you specify a little bit more when you think about that next month? What would be your chances to be back this season in front of the net to help the team? And if you're not able to get there, can you get involved with the team in some sort of ways to make sure that the morale boost, and, you know, being the leader that you are, you could help the team even though you're not in front of your net?
I can't give you a statistic on my odds of being back in the net. Yeah, I wish I could. I don't know the answer to that. I just resumed skating a couple of days ago, so I've gone through that process before, and I've had setbacks on those two occasions. So, you know, I'd like to be able to give you an answer at this moment, but I can't. So I'd like to keep that as my goal right now. As far as being involved from a leadership aspect on the team, I think a lot of guys have obviously look up to me as a leader on the team. It's always a difficult position to be in when you're an injured hockey player. Any player who's been on an injury reserve list knows that feeling of not totally being, you know, feeling involved. But you know, I can definitely be there for guys to talk to. I know there's guys that are going through tough times this year. It's not an easy season to go through for anybody, from a fan's perspective, from an athlete's perspective. When you have that drive to win and it's not happening for you, it's a frustrating deal. And you know, I know these guys in this locker room are feeling that. And you know, I don't doubt their motivation to get out there every night and continue to play. So if I just reiterate that they're all giving their best.
We'll take a couple more for Carey. We'll go with Jonathan Bernier.
Hello, Carey. I'd like to know what scares you the most with this injury and this recovery that seems to be dragging on. Are you scared maybe to not be back at the level of play you were before?
It's crossed my mind. You know, when you go through an injury like this and you've had setbacks, which I've had them before, you know, there's always going to be a little bit of doubt. Like that's just a fact of being injured. You're an athlete performing at a apex level. You're always going to wonder if you're going to be the same player when you come back. But you know, we have such an amazing training staff here that they give you the best odds of coming back to your full capability. So I'm just going to trust in the process, and hopefully that when I get back on the ice with the guys, that I'll be right back to where I was at.
Marc-Antoine Godin.
Hello, Carey. Yeah, a little bit on that same note. What sort of information were you given, whether you play this year or next year or whenever, regarding the possibility that from this point on, there are aspects of your knee that maybe might never come back completely to how it was before, and that you might have to get used to a new normal?
Yeah, well, you know, like I said, it's there's a lot of things to ponder on in your future. We can just keep hammering away at what do you think about the future? I don't know. I'm not a fortune teller, so you know, I'm just trying to stick to the process, and that's at hand. And that's trying to get back on the ice and see how it feels when I get back into a game situation. So until that happens, I can't really give you a perspective.
Thank you. Questions for Carey. We'll go with a follow-up from Eric Engels.
Hey, Carey. When you say that a lot is riding on the next couple of weeks, what needs to happen for you to feel that confidence and that ability? And if for whatever reason it doesn't go the way you want it to and potentially leads you to another procedure, are you willing to go through that rehabilitation again to pursue what you were talking about in terms of why it's important for you to play?
Yeah, it's you know, there's that's why I'm a little bit anxious about the next couple of weeks. It's going to be interesting to see how my knee responds. You know, I'm hoping for the best. I'm obviously, you know, want this to go well. And, you know, if I have another setback, I'm just going to start over again. That's the only option that I have.
And we'll take a last question, a follow-up from Jean-François Chaumont.
Hi, Carey. Thank you. The last time that we've been talking with you, it was July 7, and you were sitting next to Shea Weber. There was a lot of emotion that night, and we all understand just losing a Stanley Cup final. At that time, you probably knew that it was close to the end for Shea, but were you also worried on a personal note regarding your knee?
Yeah, I definitely knew that, you know, I knew that, you know, it was going to be close to the end for Webbs, and I was really feeling for him. And, you know, I knew that I was going to be having a procedure in the off season. So at that particular time, I wasn't thinking about it, you know, at the top of my mind. I was thinking about what we'd just gone through. You know, that was a huge mental grind for every player on the team. And it was a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong. It was definitely a big letdown at the end. And I knew over the course of that summer that a lot of things were going to happen. So, yeah, it was both of those things were on my mind.
Thanks a lot, Carey. And thanks everyone for being with us. We'll see you post-game tonight. Merci à tous les membres des médias. Bon match ce soir.